to come back. Hey, Instagram, I'm back. But like I'm trying to say, we're giving up so much of our mental space for absolutely nothing. We're giving up our mental space for things that we are not really willing or able to manage in our lives. And I mean, what does that mean? What does that mean? I want to give you some practical examples. Let's just say you're dating someone who you think could be cheating on you. You think they're possibly cheating on you, okay? So your mind is absolutely consumed by this potential cheating that could be happening on behalf of your partner, whoever you're interested in. So on a daily basis, what are you doing? You're thinking about this person and their cheating. What are they doing right now? You're texting them, probably calling them, video calling them, trying to figure out their background noise, trying to look at that screenshots and doing all kinds of extra stuff, trying to see what this person is doing. Spending up all kinds of mental resources, checking with friends and looking at Instagram pages all on social media, investigating. You're going back in your mind over all of the things that they told you the last time they explained something to you so you can try to sniff out a lie. We're going back and forth into all these things, using up all this mental space and energy. Why? Because there's drama in a meaningless sexual relationship. Half of the time, when we get all up in arms about is somebody cheating, this is normally not even our spouse. Normally, it's not even a spouse. Even if it is a spouse, that doesn't mute the point. It's taking up all this mental energy. So what's happening when you're investigating on social media, when you're going over your thoughts, when you are questioning a person and bombarding them with questions on a daily basis? What is happening when your mental space is occupied that way? It means that you're no longer able to process any of the evolution in the other areas of your life. You're no longer able to use your mental energy to take a self-analysis to say, okay, even though this relationship is not being fruitful, it's not effective, I have other things going on in my life that I want to pay attention to. I would actually like to get my health together. I would like to change my diet. I would like to pick up a new skill or learn a new language. I would like to travel more. I would like to, spend more time with my children. I would like to maybe start learning for a new career. Maybe I don't know, whatever it is that you might want to do. All these different areas of life that could be getting lived, that could be getting developed, that could be getting nurtured by you. What's happening when you're in these? What that was, but I don't know. Okay, am I still back on here? I'm back. Okay, y'all wave at me if you can still see me. Okay. You guys, I don't even know if I don't know if I did this right. Okay, here we go. I'm back. Oh my God, I had a little technical difficulty just then. But what I'm saying is, okay, you said, what do you do when your spirit and energy is not at ease with that person, but you want them in your life? When there is a situation where your mental processes are being taken up in a way that you don't like, there must be an evaluation and there has to be a committee meeting between you, yourself, and I. Okay? Me, myself, and I. All three of you, your heart, body, your mind, they have to come together for an executive meeting to ask some very critical questions. Number one, I would ask, why is your spirit and energy not at ease with this person? Is it something that can be recovered? If you want them in your life, why do you want them in your life? For what purpose? Where is it going? What is it doing? Is it serving you in some way or another? If you want them in your life, ask yourself again, are you good for them? Are you good to be in their life? Are you serving them? You understand? If a person is not, or if the situation is not aligned, there are two sides to that story. It's two sides to that coin. And there must be an evaluation on both sides, okay? Because it's not just you in a relationship. You want to be in that person's life, but do they want you in theirs? And if they do, if there's a mutual agreement, then come together, make an assessment on behalf of the both of you. What do you want for each other? How do you want your relationship to play out? Because if there is not an alignment of the intentions, if there's not an alignment of the expectations, of the definitions of your relationship, then the alignment cannot occur because the communication is not clear. The connection is not strong. And, that's just like two electrical devices. If you want them to communicate with each other, you got to give them a strong cable connection. It's the same thing in your relationships. If you are in misalignment with the person, it has to do with the connection. If you cannot communicate and become aligned or get a free flowing of information or of energy, good positive energy going back and forth between those two subjects or between those two devices, your brain is just a device. Your body is just a huge device. Okay, so those devices have to be able to have a strong connection with each other if they're going to be in alignment spiritually and on an energetic level. So make the evaluation. Come to yourself. Come inside of yourself and figure out, how am I leading in the ways that I am able to lead? Again, this goes back to what I said before. If you're in a relationship with a person that's not good for you, what part are you taking in that? Right now, if we look at that on a very, very, very global scale, only making the distinction between male and female. Let's just say you had all men in a relationship with all women. Right now, we would have the same argument. I want you in my life, man. But our spirits and our energies are not in alignment right now. So how are we going to make this right? Based on the conversation I just had with you earlier in this discussion, we have to figure out who can affect what change in the situation or in the relationship. It's not up to the woman to be a leader in certain ways. It's up to the man to lead in certain ways. And so you have to take that charge, regardless if you feel like it's your responsibility or your fault or not. It's not about fault. It's not about blame. 98, 99% of the stuff that we're dealing with in this culture, in this westernized, Europeanized, oppressed society is not our fault. We're just dealing with it. It's our responsibility to deal with it because this is where we are. Those people are not going to get us out of this mess. They're not going to get us out of it. We have to be the ones to get rid of these things in our lives, regardless of the conditioning. The conditioning is only there to present a challenge. And that's it. It's only a challenge that we're dealing with. This is not an obstacle that is insurmountable. We can get over this mountain. We can definitely get over it if we are humble enough to see ourselves in the equation and say, this is where I can be different. Men, you can be different. You can be better. You do not have to seek out sex in every contact that you have with a woman. Let that be the secondary thing that you pursue. After you pursue her mind, after you pursue her dreams and goals, all that other stuff, why don't you look at the sex as something that you get to enjoy deeper once you've gotten a chance to know her? This is how we should be thinking and conceptualizing our relationships, you guys. It has to be a better formula. We have to have a better perception of what the relationship is, how the relationship functions, how we function inside of the relationship. What is our distinctive personality? How is our character going to allow us to function in this situation? You understand what I mean? I'm a firecracker. So I know that there are certain things that I cannot lead in my household. Right now, I'm trying my best to control anger inside of me, because when I get emotional and things don't make sense to me, I get angry. I get to a point where I have to hit things. I mean, I hit tables. I punch walls. I do some very unhealthy things in anger that if I knew better, if I knew how to exact the change or how to affect the change in my own self, I would be better able to do that. And of course, I'm doing, my processes and taking the responsibility to myself, first of all, to acknowledge the fact that I have the problem in the first place. You understand? I have the problem in the first place. Yes, I am an angry woman sometimes. And a lot of times I feel justified in the anger. But all of the time, I feel the anger is out of place. I feel like it's too much of energy sucker, energy vampire is what anger is to me now. And so, yes, I recognize this is something that even though I might not be the reason, or I may not be the origin of my own anger, there may be things that contribute to it. But am I going to point the finger to blame and say, you're contributing to my anger, so you're responsible for getting rid of it? No. This is what I'm seeing in our men. Y'all see the over-sexualization happening. And instead of you taking responsibility for it, instead of you owning up to it and saying, I can be better, I can do better, I can treat a woman better, I can look at these relationships better, I want to be better. You understand? Instead of looking at it that way, you want to say to the woman instead that she needs to be better. What about your own leadership? What about your own participation? Peace and love to you. Make some more music so I can post it on my page. But this is the type of thing that we're dealing with. And it's sad to me because when a man can look at this situation and not see himself, it causes me to be very concerned. It causes me to look at the situation like, okay, where do our men actually feel responsible for anything? Do you guys think that you have any part in the over-sexualization of women? Do you feel like you have any hand in the correction of said problem? Because if you don't see yourself in the problem of over-sexualizing women, how can we ever get to a point where women are no longer being overly sexualized? And I have to just ask this very common sense question. If men are not responsible for decreasing or eliminating the over-sexualization of women for themselves, how do we expect to have it done? Do y'all think that women are going to desexualize to the point where we're walking around, all of us, in burqas? Is that what y'all want? We got to cover ourselves up from here to here so that you can function? Y'all get on my nerves sometimes. I just be wanting y'all to just wake up. I just be wanting y'all to wake up because it's not that deep. It's just sex. Get your penis out of your hands. Get the damn porn off of your computer. Clean out your mind. Get you a broom and a mop and some Lysol and some Pine Sol. Y'all need some Fabuloso. Y'all really need some CLR, some Drano. Y'all gotta get that shit up out of there because it's too much. You guys are packed in with it from every corner, every part of your cerebral cortex, all of y'all, everything. It's just all saturated, like I said, with sex. And I can't say enough. I cannot say enough. That's not a woman's responsibility to clean that up for you. We can't be unsexy enough to get that out of your head. There's nothing I can do to be unsexy. I be on here like this. Y'all look at me. I have on clothes. I always have on clothes. Look, you can't see nothing. You can't see anything. I will have a man. I have had this time and time again. I've had to have other men tell other men on my live feeds because they'll get on here. I'm sitting up here speaking nothing but peace and love and light out of my mouth. And it'll be a man to come on here and say, God damn, them lips is sexy. God damn, them lips is juicy. Stop. Wake up. Damn it. Get your mind on something else. Almost made me break my fingernail. Get your mind on something else. You hear me saying all of this. You can't see nothing but my lips. If I was covered up from here to here, it'd be some man on here talking about, damn, them eyes is sexy. Damn it. I still can't win. I'm not trying to be sexy. I'm trying to get you to hear me. Hear me. I don't want you to see me. I see why them women walk around in burqas. Because they sick of it. You know? They sick of it. It's sickening. Why do women equate woman pride with their bodies? It is a liberation thing. And I'm going to say this. First of all, let me go back and read this other comment that I didn't read. I feel like now in this day and age, you can have an energy connection mentally, and that person puts the block up in other aspects of their life. That's true. I've seen that happen. That's happening with me right now. My husband. I married my husband thinking that me and him was best friends. I get with this man, and me and him, we don't have as much of a connection as I thought we had. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say about that, because that's my husband, and I try to honor him. But while I will say it's a liberation thing, women have this thing about our bodies. First of all, we get oppressed with our bodies. For example, if a man wants to oppress a woman, or if he wants to exert dominance, if he wants to impose himself on a woman, what does he do? A lot of times he'll rape her. That's her body. He'll beat her. That's her body. He'll call her fat. You know, he'll say things like she's ugly. All of these physical offenses, where either it's a mental attack or it's a physical attack, all having to do with the body. Because men understand that women are not mentally weak. We're physically weak. You understand? We have physical weakness that we're dealing with. Okay? And there is this social conditioning that comes from our oppressor that says whenever there is something weaker than you, you must jump on top of it and hold it down because it's weaker than you. And so when a woman releases her body, she says, you know what? Fuck you. Okay? I'm going to take all this shit off. You're not getting ready to tell me that my body is going to be the thing that you use to oppress me. I'm getting ready to strip down naked and fuck you. You understand what I'm saying? You want, because I'm your wife, you want me to be all covered up. You want to own my body. Men will tell you they're a woman. You can't wear that because it's too sexy on your body. Instead of allowing the woman to look how she simply wants to look in her body. You understand? There are several different situations where a woman will just simply say, you know what? Forget it. Forget it. I don't care nothing about you or this damn body. It is what it is, and this is what it's going to be. And so you get the liberation of exposing everything, of saying, you know what? Nobody owns my body. And if I want to show it, I'm going to show it because I'm not ashamed of it. I love my body. And that exhibition becomes the sense of pride. It becomes, I'm going to strip this down to bare nothing, whether it's too fat or too skinny, no ass, no titties, too dark, too light. I'm taking it all off. I don't care what it is. I'm going to show it because it's mine. And this is what I have. If you only want to value me for my body, here it is. The only thing you can appreciate me for is my body. Here it is, brother. All the ass and titties and nipples and coochies you can look at. Here you go. You want me to open it up for you? Liberation. When you let go of the thing, you're free. And that's where it comes from. When women use their bodies to show that they are proud of themselves. When women use their bodies to exhibit that they are human. It's exhibitionist. I told my husband all the time, when I get to a certain age, I'm going to a nudist beach, babe. I'm out of here. I'm going to a nudist beach. Because I don't want to have this feeling on me like I always have to meet an expectation. I always have to look a certain way. If I walk into a corporate office, I got to look a certain way. If I walk into a grocery store, I don't have to look a certain way, but I got to look a certain way. If I walk into, you know what I mean, a venue, if I walk into a party or whatever, I have to look a certain way. I have to look some kind of way. That applies to men too, but it's not as serious to y'all because y'all don't get oppressed based on your men. I mean, based on your bodies, you know? So when it comes to us having to meet these expectations and to be this image of perfection, then yeah, it gets to be a bit too much. And that's when women just simply let it go and be like, fuck it, I'm out of here. I'm taking all these clothes off. And you just, honestly, you can say what you want because I don't care. I look how I look and I'm going to be who I be. And I'm going to do what I do without the judgment coming from a man, without somebody telling me that they want me to be something that I'm not. You understand? So we as women, we have these weaknesses that our men should be able to look at us and see. And this is another thing I don't really get about the deflection that goes along with this argument, that we should be having better leadership from our men when it comes to reducing the amount of sexuality or over sexualization that's happening with us. We have to get to a point where we can see the value. Men observe women to the T. You guys are able to see us in ways that are unmatched. But yet when you see us, there's a disconnect, because somehow whatever you see in us, you still allow the conditioning and you still allow the oppressor's mentality to take over. And then that's how you engage. That's the level you engage on. Y'all know that we are divine beings. Y'all see how we live our lives. Y'all see how we raise our children. Y'all see how we educate ourselves and keep ourselves above water. Y'all see how we pick ourselves up from the bootstraps. Y'all see the value in us. Y'all know how we're capable. So why do you not feel comfortable or humble enough with returning that value that you see in us? Why down brothers for having everything stripped from us? And we want to give ourselves to you to show that woman, here, this is all I have at the moment is my energy. Okay, I can understand that. You can make that offering to a good woman. A good woman will receive that and she will say, okay, you have something of value to give me. Now, if you go and find one of those Cardi B type of chicks and all she's talking about is money and going on trips and wanting to date, going on these lavish dates, and that's all the woman is talking about. First of all, when she's saying all those things, what the woman is doing is trying to give herself value. When she tells you that you have to pay her bills, and when she tells you that you need to buy her clothes and you need to take her places, you need to do all this other stuff in order to be with her, she's trying to tell you that she has value. She might not be able to show that to you, or she may not know exactly what her value is. But what she's trying to say is, sir, I have value. And if you're going to be with me, you're going to have to value me. If you don't know a very specific way to value me, I'm going to tell you right here. Take me shopping, pay my rent. But the woman who knows her value, she'll also be able to engage with you on a level of your value. Hear me when I say this. It's very important. When you have nothing but energy to present to a woman, first of all, that's all she needs. Because when you're engaging with a person to see, can I move forward with this person? Can I grow with this person? Your objective is to do just that. Give your energy to that person and tell them, this is who I am. This is how I present. This is my character. This is how I was raised. This is my family life. This is how I save my money. This is how I manage my money. This is how I live. You understand? This is my spiritual evolution. You're giving them energy. You're telling them, this is how I see you. This is how I want to engage with you. This is what I want us to be. This is a very huge factor in relationships. Wanting to engage with a person on a certain level that is not physical, it requires that you even know what energy level you're on. You understand? If you have an energy that you're presenting that is not physical, it's not sexual, be able to articulate the energy that you're giving in a way that it can be returned back to you. If you want a woman that is more about the building of a relationship and not so much about the showing of a relationship. There are women out here who want to show a relationship. They want the show. They want to post on Instagram. They want to go out in your nice car. They want to be on your arm. They want to spend your money in the stores. They want to walk around with nice, those hefty bags with the handles on them, They don't want the plastic bag that you got to put your arm through. No, they want the bag with the handle. I'm talking about like a shopping bag. They want to walk around with them nice bags on their arms. That's the show. But you got to determine if that's the energy level you're on. And I want to tell you men this very, very specifically. Hear me. You set the tone Women receive it and then reciprocate it. You understand? You set the tone for how that relationship is going to operate. If you get with a woman and the only thing she got to talk about is your money, you're responsible to say, baby, I don't spend my money like that. I spend my money on things that return back to me. I invest my money. I don't spend my money. I use my money. And when you say that to a woman right then and there, you silence all of that. Because you telling her, look, baby, I like you and everything, but I don't waste my money. I don't even shop for myself like that. What make you think I'm getting ready to do that with you? And this is where the sex comes into play. Because you can't say that to a woman that you have meaningless sex with. Because the first thing she gonna say is, well, you fucking me. You can't do that. It's called self-control. And when you have self-control, then you're able to control the situation altogether. You're able to say, I'm not even having sex with you. I'm not spending that much money on you. Not to say that sex is the exchange for it, no. But to say we're not there yet. You understand? And when you have not entered a woman's body and you're not trying to enter her body, you can easily say, I'm not spending all that money on you, baby girl. I barely know you. I'm not having sex with you. We're not there yet. You nip it in the bud right then and there. It's no more of a conversation. There's no more of a debate. You get me? So when you walk into a situation with a woman, recognize she's not the only person wearing a crown here. You have a very huge crown on your head. The woman has the value, but you set the course. Okay? She has the value in a relationship. That's why you're after her. That's why you're seeking her. That's why you're looking for her to become a part of your life, because you're looking for the value that she could potentially bring. But when you don't exercise enough of your personal control, your self-control, that's when the lines get blurred. That's when the lines get blurred. That's when she's like, well, he clearly cannot control himself. He wants to have sex with me. And like I said, if you are setting the tone in a relationship, which is what you're going to do regardless, you set the tone whether or not you know it or not. You come up to the woman and you start playing for sex. You start, setting yourself up to get some ass tonight. She ain't stupid. She knows what you're doing. And the whole time that you plotting on her ass, she plotting on your wallet. Y'all got to stop the madness. The cycle is not going anywhere. We're circling around and chasing our tails like this, going the same circle. The process of human evolution goes like this, you guys. You're supposed to come up and around. You're not supposed to stay down here. We are chasing our tails here. Somebody got to come out of that damn circle and say, you know what? I don't want to have sex with you. I don't want to have sex with you. What I want to do is find out who you are. What I want to do is find out, can I be in the same room with you for more than 10 minutes without us biting each other's heads off? Because after you start having sex and you finally realize this was not the person bringing value to your life, then you want to be mad at them. You want to be mad at the woman because she's sexy? This is faulty. There's no logic in that. No woman is ever going to stop being sexy to you. You can't be mad at her. Be mad at yourself, because when you saw what you liked, you had no fortitude to go any deeper than the surface level of her outer shell of ass and titties. You guys, the woman is only responsible to a certain extent. When you approach her setting that tone, she has every right and responsibility to either accept or reject you. And we're not rejecting you because, like I said before, we're dealing with our own levels of social conditioning. So the rejections are not happening like they should. They are happening. Y'all get rejected time and time again. But there's not enough of that happening to the point where the woman is able to see that, okay, I don't have to be subjected for my body. I can really, and I also want to say this. If a woman was to consistently reject you, like y'all always say, well, how come she keep opening up her legs? How come she not saying no? But if you were the one she was saying no to, that'd be a problem. Come on now. If she's telling you no, then it's all of a sudden a problem with that. Oh, you don't like real niggas. You like them bad boy thug niggas. You don't want somebody that's going to do. But when she rejects you, it's a problem. But you want her to reject everybody else. We don't have logic here. We are not coming up with logic in these arguments. We're coming up with deflection, and we're coming up with a lack of accountability when we have these arguments. And we have to stop, y'all. We have to get to a point where we understand our power in these relationships. Men, you have the power to set the tone. Women, you have the power of your value, of reciprocation. That is a power. And if we're not conceptualizing the power in order to use it, we are going to continuously be here circling around in this lower vibrational state of being where we're not ever progressing and going up and out of the reality that we're in. We're in a reality where we're dominated by lower vibrational urges and lustful thinking, lusting after things that make us feel good, because we're not able to give ourselves these satisfying feelings outside of the lower vibrational things. If we were seeking after higher vibrational connections and energetic engagements, then we would have the ability to say, listen, I know for a fact that the sex is going to feel good to my body, but what is going to feel good to my soul on a higher vibrational level when I have this sex? You understand what I'm telling you? You cannot get out of that. You cannot skate around it. You can't say, oh, I'm just going to have this fling for the night and that's it's going to make me feel good. No, it's not. It's going to make you feel like shit. I know for a fact because I done felt like shit enough. I was trying to tell you. Yeah, I'm about to let you go. I've been on here for an hour and a half talking shit. But I want you to know, I need you to know, I'm not blaming anybody. What I am saying is that somebody is responsible. And until our men become responsible, until our men take it upon themselves to see themselves in these relationships as leaders and not as helpless, emotionless savages, but leaders instead, we would be leaps and bounds further ahead of where we are right now. It is because of our men. I am not going to come off of that because, like I said, I know that our sisters have some work and some healing to do with our self-worth and our value, our self-image, our what do they call it, self-esteem. We have to learn how to engage with ourselves on those levels, but we still have to have leadership from our men, because when a woman gets weak, when she gets lonely, when she needs somebody to a shoulder to cry on, she's going to look for a man. And if that man takes that weakness, if that man takes her position as a place where he can take it full advantage and go ahead and just slide on the home base. All right, look, baby, I know that, you had a rough day. Come on, let me rub your shoulders. Let's Netflix and chill. You haven't met any of her higher vibrational needs. You haven't met any of her higher vibrational desires or requirements, but yet you want to come in acting like you're going to be that satisfaction, acting like you have those good intentions, acting like you want to see her healing, acting like you want to see her happy and better. But yet all you're doing is perpetuating, because you're not getting to know her. You're not getting to feel her. If you know that she had a bad day, instead of you wanting to do something physical, rubbing all on her, having sex with her and all this other stuff, how about you just pause for a moment and talk? Don't y'all know that women love to talk? I'm pretty sure that that's a very wide stereotype. How about you tap into that? Tap into it. We want to talk. We want to be heard. We want to have our opinions considered. We want to have our desires considered. We want to have our thoughts considered. We come from a society where Caucasians are imposing this patriarchal dominance in our society. And so they tell you that your woman's opinion doesn't matter. But you should know from experience and history that your woman's opinion is what has created any sense of comfort in your life up until this point. If it wasn't for a woman having the desire to see you uplifted like we have, you wouldn't have no comfort in this country. We are your comfort. You think a white woman would be taking care of you like a black woman would? Somebody come and talk to me. Somebody tell me what it is. We have been the comfort for you. When y'all out running them streets, selling drugs, getting locked up, sleeping on people's couches, carrying your clothes around in a goddamn trash bag, who got your kids holding them down? Making sure that if you did decide to come home, that somebody got a bed for you to sleep in. Or that your children might not hate you when you get in here. Who else is going to do that for you? Who else? It's not a blame game. It's not a blame game. I want to address that because I've been in this place before. Grant, she becomes super sexual. And when the mood is done, she is instantly self-loathing. I want to say that. Because it's very true. Very true. I have been in those shoes myself where, and I want to tell you where this comes from my perspective. I've been in several situations where a man might be in my presence and he might not be on some sexual stuff. But because my mind, in the back of my mind, I'm like, I already know he getting ready to be on some sex. I just beat him there. I just beat him to it. So I feel like I didn't get taken for it. You know, it's like I'm going to beat him to it and convince myself that this is really what I wanted. And I'm just going to race to the finish line so that I can hurry up and get this experience over with, because I know at some point this is what it's going to boil down to. I could have been playing myself, very much so. But it's the mentality again that goes into, okay, look. And I'm not gonna lie. There have been times where that is what I wanted. I just simply wanted to have sex, and I'm just like, all right, bruh, shut up. I'm not trying to talk to you right now because you're getting on my nerves any damn way. What you got in there? Take it out. Take it out and let me see it. Y'all, my dad be coming these lives sometimes. Let me shut up for my dad hear me talking like that. But anyway, the point that I'm making is that we all have had situations that I believe are the exceptions to the rule. They are the anomaly in the statistical data, where you do have women who will have this exaggerated version of sexuality where she's overly sexual. You know, you come into a girl house, y'all supposed to be really Netflix and chilling, and you probably just wanted to Netflix and chill, and she opens the door with booty shorts on and a little tank top that got her nipples pretty much falling out the side of the top of it. I understand, I get it, and I know it's very hard for y'all to, you know, engage or to hold your peace in a situation like that, but this is again where it comes down to a place where you set the tone. If you walk through the door and you see that in a woman, I'm going to tell you this from a real woman. I'm going to tell you from a real woman. If a man was to ever tell me, I didn't come in here fat, you look good, but put some clothes on. I can't sit around here with you and respect you with them clothes on. A man could tell me that very seriously. He could tell me that as a joke. He could tell me that, you know, in passing or after the fact. I can guarantee you, any woman, whether she is of a high caliber or someone you would consider to be a little bit in need of healing, that's how I'm going to put it. Every woman, I don't care what type of woman she is, she's going to listen to you and she's going to put some clothes on. Because at the end of the day, she's trying to appeal to you. She's trying to get your affection the same way you're trying to get hers. And so if you tell her, hey, look, I don't like that. I'm not trying to be tempted. I know that you look good already. I didn't come here for that this time, though. I can tell you for a fact that woman is going to cover herself up and she's going to chill with you. You might have a few savage women out there that might put you out and be like, bruh, I got this on because I want to have it on. But if you come to her respectfully and say, listen, I'm trying to respect your body. I'm trying to respect my body. I'm trying to respect the situation. I don't want us to be doing too much too soon. Please put on some clothes so that I could just focus on the movie. It's not that hard. It's not that hard. It is not that hard. And with that, you guys, I've been on here for almost 2 hours. I've been here for an hour and 39 minutes. So I'm going to let y'all go. And I want to thank you for coming here and engaging with me in this conversation, because I recognize it needs to be had. We have so many women and men who are not available to see themselves. It just doesn't, it doesn't always work out that way. You say you did that and you were cut off. And that's why I said there's an exception. But I want to say, if you were in a situation where this woman had her right mind, You may have had a woman or experienced that with a woman who did not have her right mind. But I will say to you that any woman who is in her right mind, which is most of us, and you say something like that to her, like, I'm trying to respect you, sister. I really didn't come over here to have sex with you. I just want us to chill and get to know each other. Maybe we should go out in public. You know, you could do things like that. Have dates in public so that you're not having sex. You can do things like that without even having to make that statement. You don't even have to make that statement. Just go out in public and have your dates. That way you don't, unless you're going to have sex in Starbucks, you're going to be fucking in the booth. Get yourself out of the situation. If you know you can't do it in private, do it in public. Go out in public and get to know this person until you feel like you can handle yourself, or until you feel like you reach the point where you can have sex. It's doable. It's doable. I want to say I enjoyed your participation, Grant. Make sure you come back. And I do this every week, twice a week. I go live on this page, Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook is where I do my live broadcastings. I do them Monday and Friday at 11 a.m. My podcast is published on my website, which is www.reeseroberts.com. And I also have it published on Soundcloud if you want to join in on that platform. So you can listen to the playlist of all my lives. But I had some lives that I started broadcasting before I got my podcast together. So, you'll kind of have to toggle back and forth between the website and the podcast if you kind of just want to go through my archives. So you guys, please go forth and be well and respect yourself and respect the people in your life. Respect your penis, respect your vagina, respect other people's bodies, and just, control these things. Get to a place where you don't need to have a filler. Make yourself happy in truth. Make yourself feel satisfied and fulfilled in truth. Give yourself value in truth. And get these things right. Your energy, sir, will not be mistaken at all if you are aligned with it. So, and I also want to tell you guys that I do informal counseling. I want to say that because I don't want you guys to get the idea that I'm a licensed therapist or counselor or anything, but I do counseling. If you go to www.reeseroberts.com, you can book me for a session and you can find the podcast. So the information will be on there. If you click on the menu, you can find the blogs. I also write blogs, you guys. I write. I haven't done it in a while, but I'm going to go back to it because I've been feeling the itch to get some writing out. But I write a blog and the podcast. They're both published on the same page of my website. So if you go, Shahid, you're too loud. So if you go onto the website, you'll see the blog and the podcast on one page. And then you'll also see where you can book a session with me. I do a lot of work to, bring people up to standard when it comes to levels of awareness and consciousness in relationships. Because what I've found is that as I study human consciousness and I study how we engage with each other and I study collective consciousness especially, I started to recognize these patterns about how these things are happening. And so a few people have reached out to me and asked me if I could help them in their relationships. And I have been effective in doing that. And I want to make sure I offer that to you just in case you need it. If you need someone to help you sort out these irrational or irrational loops that you have in your life, you can apply truth and law to them. There are laws that are governing our bodies, governing our minds, governing our environment, our universe. They're called universal laws. And when you begin to study them, you begin to pick them apart and to create systems out of these laws. That's when you begin to heal yourself and create a existence of health, or you create you create stability in your mind and your emotions. You create intelligence as well. I want to say that too. The universal laws definitely give you a source of untappable intelligence that you can just draw from. It's called, people call it downloading. And once you have that connection with yourself and you become aligned, there is no separation between you and intelligence. You become intelligence. And so if you need help with that and you need somebody to help you navigate, I want you to know that about our spirits. Our spiritual systems are about navigation. We were navigators in our nature in prehistoric times. The Moorish people navigated the seas and the waters without technology, because we knew we had the navigation was natural, as above so below. We didn't need help navigating the oceans and the waters and the lands and the seas, because we knew how to navigate our spirits. We knew how to navigate up here. We knew how to watch the stars. We knew where the hills which cometh our help. We knew that. You understand? So these are the things that I want to help you with. And if you need a session with me, you can start off with a trial session, $20. $20. Now, if you can spend $20 on food in the damn drive-through, which I know that's what y'all doing, hit me up. I can talk. We can talk, and we can have our discussions about what it is you're struggling with and what you're having a hard time perceiving up here, because it's what it's really all about is perception. And my friend Ray, let's work, boo. I'm always down for some work. I got projects all up in the air, so I don't mind putting a few more plates to spin up in the air. I'm always down for collaborations. My email address for that is collaborate@reeseroberts.com. If you want to collaborate with me, please email me or reach out to me any kind of way. I don't care. DM, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. I don't care. Whatever you want to do. Collaborate@reeseroberts.com. Shaheed, I said be quiet. You already on my bad side as it is. I took my baby diaper off because he's potty training, and he boo-booed on my floor. And he know way better than that. He about to get knocked out. But anyway, you guys hit me up and let me know what your thoughts are. Please come back Monday and Friday. I do my lives at 11 a.m. So y'all come back. I love you much, and I want you to please try your best to implement these ideas if you can. If you can entertain the thought. I want y'all to know that too. This is called Entertain the Thought, my podcast. So make sure you are really truly entertaining the thoughts that you're getting, and do something with them, because every time you hear me speak and I give you my dissemination of information, it's there to be applicable in your life. Okay? Is there to be applicable. You can apply it if you can conceptualize and digest that thing. Get it into your soul. And with that, I'm going to let each and every last one of y'all go. Like I said, I love you. Come back Friday at 11 a.m. I'll be back. This is Reese Roberts with Entertain the Thought.